been asked on several occasions, why do you have so many roosters? Kind of like we're doing something immoral here or something. But anyone who has hatched their own eggs and raised their own baby chicks knows that you don't just stop loving them when you find out that they're roosters. That's how you get so many roosters. You hatch eggs and you fall in love.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the chickens of our lives.
Here at DuBois Legacy Farm, we have hatched out a total of 3 clutches of eggs over the 3 years that we've had chickens. Of these 3 clutches, we've ended up making a total of 9 roosters. We now have 5 of them still with us. 2 with our mixed flock, Enoch and Noah, and 3 in our rooster flock, Jethro, Harrison, and Tay, aka my tater pie. Some people have a lot of misconceptions about roosters. Some people don't even know that a rooster isn't needed for a hen to lay eggs. A lot of people don't realize that you can keep more than one rooster, or that you can keep a flock of just roosters. Most people don't realize that there's a perfect ratio between roosters and hens. You can't have too many roosters and not enough hens. And I bet there's many people who have never seen chickens mate and have no idea how that even happens.
Okay, now everybody go to bed.
Roosters build nests for their hens, protect the flock, they raise baby chicks, and if you have a good rooster, your hens will never ever go hungry, because roosters always feed their hens first. I'm not exactly what I would call an expert on rooster behavior, but I do have a little bit of experience raising 9 roosters from hatch, so I'd like to share a little bit of what has worked and what hasn't. In 2022, we were still new to chickens when our Silver Lace Wyandotte Dorothy decided to go broody. We decided to let her hatch some eggs, so I got a dozen from my aunt, who had some mutt roosters and some Isa brown hens. She only ended up hatching 3, which we ended up with Mary, Noah, and Enoch. This was the beginning of our rooster adventures. Noah has always been the pleaser. He was always interested in pleasing his mama. Then when she abandoned them all early, just before about 5 weeks, he switched to wanting to please my husband, Jason, and I. Enoch is the youngest of the brood. He was also the smallest of the 3, and I don't think he has ever gotten over it. He's had a case of little man syndrome his whole life. He will fight Noah to the death if he must. He will not accept anything but dominant rooster. Noah, on the other hand, loves his brother and protects him. He will defend himself and attempts to discipline Enoch. However, he will always stop before it gets too bad, because he loves Enoch. He is not interested in fighting to the death over dominance. Their first big altercation was about 12 weeks old. It was the one that set the whole tone for the rest of their lives so far. Apparently, we should have kind of just let them duke it out longer, but I couldn't watch my babies be hurting each other like that, and I had to break them up. Enoch declared himself the winner, and it's been that way in every fight since. Noah will always back down and run to his humans. It's funny though, because Noah is very brave. He will be the first one to run to danger if there's any predator or any kind of threat in the yard. And then it's Enoch's job to take the girls to safety, and Noah fights off the danger. point being, I don't think that Noah runs away because he's afraid of Enoch. I think he runs away because he doesn't want to hurt him. I expect that if a serious attack threat were to happen in our yard, it would be Noah that we would lose, because Enoch doesn't seem to be interested in fighting threats. Between the two of them, they do make a really great rooster team. I've had to separate Noah and Enoch at times, and when I do, I try to keep them together. They are in different cages next to each other so that they can see one another. That way they don't have to have a rematch.
All right, go ahead.
As soon as they get out again, because that's exactly what will happen. They will have to reset their little pecking order, or they forget that each other exists. I'm not really sure how that works, but they will fight again.
Without hurting my roosters, I try to separate them with a stick, rake, pitchfork, or broom.
I mean it. You'll go right back in. You going right back in? Knock it off, Enoch. I know, Noah. I'm sorry. Just go about your day.
And if I have my big rubber boots on, that works pretty good too.
I know, you're mad. I get it. I would be mad at me too. I don't want to clean up for bloody roosters tonight. I'm not a fan of that. So let's stop.
I feel so bad for Noah when I remove Enoch and then bring him back. It's really not fair to Noah. He doesn't deserve to be Enoch's punching bag.
Let's go, Enoch.
Luckily, I was able to break them up before any skin was broken. Once I'm able to keep them separated and calm them down some, I can divert their attention with treats. But only once they are separated and much calmer, they will realize that they need to feed their ladies.
Knock it off. I meant it.
The ladies are the key to controlling Enoch.
You're going back in if you don't quit it.
So cages next to each other in the garage works really well. We call it rooster jail. When I first started putting them in rooster jail, I started playing 432 hertz music for them to keep them quiet because they would not shut up. And it actually started to work. I played classical music for them, and they really actually liked the opera.
Not that bad, is it, guys?
So last summer, 2023, we hatched 2 more clutches and ended up with 7 more roosters.
Hi. Oh, so cute.
Well, most people would have probably butchered them, or, yeah, not me. We ended up by rehoming 4 of them, which was so hard for me because I had grown them up from babies, from hatch. And I probably should have just gotten rid of all of them, but we kept 3. Jethro and Harrison have always seemed to be buddies. Well, once they worked out their issues at a young age. And it's so funny how Harrison ended up staying here because we were only going to keep Jethro and Tay. I had prayed all night, the night before we took them, to be rehomed because I didn't know if I should only be keeping 2 for our rooster flock, or would it be better to keep more? Would just the 2 just pick on each other, or should I keep 3, or would they 2 gang up on the other one, or should I keep 4? I kept praying about it. That morning, Harrison got free and hid under the deck. We tried to use the hose to spray him out, but he wouldn't budge. I felt like that was my answer to my prayer. God had decided, and we were going to keep Harrison. I would have never thought to keep Harrison. God's plans are always better than ours. Harrison was the firstborn in his clutch.
That's the one that was in rooster jail yesterday. He's still got an attitude. crazy eyes.
He and Jethro had their first big fight
You guys need to quit fighting.
at about 8 or 9 weeks old. It's so funny to see Tay breaking up their fights back then because that's apparently his purpose now. I come out here and this is what Jethro looks like because he's an idiot, and I guarantee he's been picking fights with Harrison over there, who also looks terrible. Tay looks all fine, don't you, Tay? He's got a few little scrapes and bruises, don't you? A little bit. Not bad, but it's because he splits them up. So I don't know what to do with you guys because I got nowhere to put you. And if you can't get along, then you just can't stay here. So that's where we're at. You're gonna have to get along, buddy. Boy, you look horrible. Look at that. That looks awful. You're an idiot. He's the one that picks it, too. He's the fight picker. Harrison doesn't like to fight. You just need your own girls. You're making it tough on us, Jethro. Why can't you just get along with everybody? So, yeah, there's that. Good thing we got Tay. You're a good boy, Tay.
It's not uncommon for a head rooster to break up fights among hens and other roosters.
They're really starting early, I'll tell you that. Here comes Eli to regulate it.
We had a young rooster, technically called a cockerel, named Eli. We hatched him straight from the incubator, and I loved that little guy.
See how much you learn when you watch your chickens?
I tried really hard to work with him when he turned on me at about 16 weeks old. It had seemed that he bit me for no reason at all. Instead of trying to figure out what the reason was, I reacted and held him down, and I think that's when I broke his trust, because then he felt like I turned on him.
You want to be friends? Do you want to be friends, Eli? No? He doesn't want to be friends.
Looking back on the whole situation, I think that he was trying to mate me. He thought of me as his hen. He had all this extra energy from his hormone surges of adolescence. Once he got through that period of growth, he probably would have been a great rooster.
He looks so cute.
I will always feel like I failed him, and I don't want to repeat those mistakes.
We had Jethro trying to take over the rooster coop from Tay. Tay is not happy about that, and they fought. Then they fought inside the rooster coop. We finally got a hold of Jethro, and now he's in that crate down there. And Tay looked really bloody and gross. I think a lot of his blood might be Jethro's. Is it? He's pretty proud of himself. You're kind of stupid. A little bit. I don't know why you keep doing that, buddy.
I really, really like it when you get along. Jethro and Harrison have gotten along great so far in the rooster flock.
Until about mid-March, when it turned warm and sunny.
Jethro, this is getting to be terrible. I can't do this all the time. It's you, sir. You can't get along with anybody. Look at this. That is horrible. You make me look like a horrible chicken keeper. This is awful, buddy. I don't know what to do with you, hon. We've tried separating them, and it works for a while, but Jethro seems to be restless. As much as I love having them all here, it really is not natural for them to be stuck in a coop together with no purpose. Having them in a rooster flock is better than, a soup pot.
Enoch and I seemed to butt heads a lot, and one day I threw him out of the coop.
Are you serious?
I can't remember what he did, but he was being a turd. And then he came across the whole yard to attack the
Knock
boys,
it off.
who I had unfortunately already let out. I did not expect him to attack them, but I don't know why I didn't expect it.
Knock it off, you two!
Looking back, I think this is when the boys learn to challenge each other.
This is my current situation. I'm really feeling like you're on one of your last lives right now. You suck. You suck a lot. You really ticked off Tay. You boogered his comb up bad. That was not even cool. Let me see. Is it okay? You got lots of blood, don't you? Let me see. Is it getting in your nose? Yeah? Yeah, you definitely looked way worse last night than you do today. Yeah, just a little bit of dried blood. Okay, good.
I now understand from my own experience that roosters in a mixed flock react differently than ones in a bachelor flock. The tactics that you use to train one set of roosters is totally different from the other. Mixed flock roosters only care about their hens and protecting them. So what works on my head rooster in my mixed flock is to remove him from his hens. But that means that my subordinate rooster has to come too, or when they come back together, there is a fight, because that's their pecking order thing. The head rooster of the bachelor flock, on the other hand, loves me and thinks I'm his hen.
So usually I have to just stand here. He's gonna come back and try to do it again. No, no. And it's just a mating behavior. That's all it is. He doesn't want to hurt me. He loves me. So he just doesn't know what to do with his energy. Gosh, why do we got Tay in here? Huh? Because Tay kept going after me yesterday? Trying to attack my leg over and over again? Why is that, Tay?
So spending time in a cage in
Why
the
were you being a
garage
brat?
doing whatever close to
he's
me,
jealous.
he can see what I'm doing and essentially spend more time with me. It isn't an effective punishment or an effective corrective training method. He will start to do the bad behavior in order to get back into the garage again. He recently started biting, pecking, and attacking my feet.
Settle your butt down.
At first I thought he had snapped and it broke my heart. We've always just been really close, and after doing a further research, I found that in his adolescence, roosters tend to exhibit these sorts of behaviors towards their caregivers, especially their caregivers that they have been really close with and have hand-raised them. As I understand it, roosters only have a small set of communication tools to show affection and to interact. So it can be difficult for them, and they will use the same behaviors for showing affection to their hens as they do on their humans, and vice versa. Since these behaviors tend to be a little rough, it can seem that they are being mean and aggressive, when actually they are struggling to show you that they are fond of you.
What is your problem? What? Why are you getting all hostile toward me, sir?
It can take some patience and work to correct these behaviors and coexist without pain and injury. Most people don't know or have time and patience to learn to fix it, so they just move on to the next rooster or don't have a rooster at all, which is unfortunate yet understandable. However, roosters are very useful and so much fun.
Well, I'm glad you're getting your mojo back, buddy.
Well, Jethro can no longer stay in the rooster flock, and he's been staying in our garage. It's virtually impossible to rehome a mutt rooster.
So we now know that he can't go back, I think, because Harrison goes right for his bad eye. So that's not going to work. Can you follow me right back to the garage? And you think this is your coop now? Aw. We'll get you a coop, okay? You're alright. You don't have to keep crowing. You're fine, babe. I'm sorry we did that. We had to see, though, okay? I didn't want to do that either. I just want you guys to get along. Here's the hens. I kind of try to keep them away from them during the day. But it's really hard because I don't really have a big yard.
So I got 10 baby chicks from Family Farm and Home to grow up to be his new flock. Jethro has had to endure a lot of waiting and has many more weeks of waiting before he will really start to be able to see what our plans are for him. I spend a lot of time talking to him and trying to curb his loneliness.
Definitely not interested in that. So apparently it's actually a thing to get your rooster or your lonely hen a stuffed toy. So we're gonna see what Jethro thinks about this stuffed toy, because he's very lonely. What do you think of this? He's like, lady, that's really stupid. I don't want your stupid stuffed dog. Let's see the babies. Jethro, come here. Let's see the babies. Do you know what to do?
But had we not kept Harrison, then Tay would be all alone in the rooster coop right now.
I think they're my watch roosters.
Because Jethro doesn't get along with any other roosters, and he wouldn't have gotten along with Tay either. Tay and Harrison have bonded, and they are best friends. Let's hope it stays that way.
Okay, so this didn't work on Jethro, but we're gonna see if it works on the other roosters. What do you think, Harrison?
Get down, Tay. Get your butt down. Right now. The dog is gonna come get you.
The dog is gonna get you! The dog is gonna get you, Tay! The dog is gonna get you! Oh, you're killing me. I don't like the dog. Tay! Do you like the dog? He wants to be friends, Tay. You don't want to be friends with the dog? Why not? He just wants to be your friend. He just wants to be your friend, Tay. They really don't like the dog. You want to be friends? Be friends. Wow, guys. You guys are pansies. So apparently that's all I got to do to get my roosters in their pen is scare them with the dog.
As I was listening to Jethro crow non-stop, as I tried calming him and telling him all of the wonderful plans we have for him, I couldn't help but be reminded of scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I thought about how God must feel when I complain and grumble through the waiting for all the plans He has for me. My endless crowing is not helping anyone, or especially myself, just like Jethro. If only I could get him to understand that. It sure would be a lot quieter around here. It's been pretty noisy lately. I have bad migraines, and it has been taking a toll on me. He gets the other 4 roosters going, and then they all won't stop. When Jethro gets out for his turn at free range time, because all of the groups of roosters have to remain separated,
I'm pretty sure that his hearing has gotten better now that he's like almost half blind.
he goes straight to Noah and Enoch's coop to bother them, which makes them feel as though they need to mark their territory, and they end up overmating my 15 hens. Our ratio of rooster to hen is off, especially since we lost 2 hens in October. Everyone seems to be suffering right now because of Jethro. The easy solution would be to rehome him. However, no one wants him other than as a meal, and I won't allow that to happen to him. So ultimately, everyone is suffering because of me. I don't know how this is all going to pan out. I think ultimately that will depend on if Jethro can rise to the occasion, but I feel like he is too sweet of a rooster to be someone's dinner. I'm going out of my way to grow him a flock and build a coop for him. I'm praying that God is going to help me, because the odds are stacked against me with many obstacles to overcome and struggles to endure. You don't become a wiser, stronger person without enduring pain and strife. That's how we learn and grow. I think God uses situations in your life to guide you to Him and mold you into a new creation that He wants you to be. And He kind of does that with my chickens and me. Next time on The Chickens of Our Lives. I'm so proud of you. You're a good boy.
If you like this video, you might like this one too.
Shut up.